So you live outside of the US, but you want to invest in Miami real estate. But can you get financed?
Stay tuned to find out if this video. Can I get a mortgage in the US as a foreign agent?
Yes, you can. There are certain parameters you have to stay within, and also certain things that you need in order for you to be able to invest and get a mortgage out here. But yes, you can.
What are the costs that are due during closing?
If you're using a lender, we're going to require an appraisal to take place. An appraisal is an inspection that determines the value of the property. That's going to cost you some. There's also the fees for just transferring property, the recording fees, the settlement fees. There's tax transfers as well. You also have to pay for your portion of the taxes for having the property. And as a foreign national, you're also probably more than likely going to have a 10 to 15% FIRPTA holding, which is for tax purposes as well.
Does a foreign national have to travel here to be at the closing table?
In your location, if there's a U.S. embassy that you can schedule an on-time closing with, then you can potentially do it at your country at a U.S. embassy. Otherwise, you can always assign somebody a power of attorney. In doing so, that person will then do it for you here in the U.S. It is advised that the person is a relative or an attorney. So different mortgage companies have different options, but what I'm going to give to you is options that we tend to generalize for all mortgage companies for the most part. Essentially, it's ideal to have, if you're able to obtain a credit score in your foreign country, it's ideal to have a 680 credit score and above. If you're not, then we'll look at already established credit lines in your countries. You need to have at least 2, and we would need to gather 12 to 24 months of on-time payment, and also seeing that they were existent during that time frame. In addition to that, you can only purchase second home or an investment. In doing that, you would need a down payment of at least 30%, and you can purchase up to $2 million with our company. And the minimum would have to be $150,000. That would be the minimum loan amount that we would allow. There are other ways that we can go about income too. If we're using your income to be able to qualify, then we would need to see either pay stubs or taxes from your foreign country. We would also need, if you're self-employed, we would need a CPA letter stating your year-to-date income. And also we would need to see that the CPA person actually has a license and is active, and that your business is active. And then everything has to be translated as well to English.
I know you mentioned investment and investment properties, because it won't be their primary home, it would be their second home or an investment property. And just wanted to highlight that some of those options for you as a foreign buyer would be investing in something that allows short-term rentals or long-term rentals. You have the option to buy a single family home, a townhouse, a duplex, a triplex, fourplex. But the financing, does it differ with the different choice of home that they choose? You
have to be able to prove that that's the place that you're going to go to as a second home. It's not for investment purposes, so we're not using rental income there. For an investment, we can use a potential rental income for that property. If it's vacant, then there's additional guidelines to that, but we can still use potential rental income as well. If it's already being rented, then we might have to see the rent roll from that property and determine, how much of that can we use towards your purchase to help you with the income part of things. You're also going to need reserves too for both. It doesn't matter. As a foreign national, you're going to need about 12 months reserves. 12 months. Yeah, of the actual mortgage amount.
A foreign national is required to pay taxes since they don't necessarily live here.
After the sale, the foreign national is required to pay about 10 to 15% in taxes. This amount is collected at the closing table by the title company, and they're the ones that distribute the funds to the IRS. This is a way to ensure that those taxes are paid.
Can non-residents buy property in the U.S.?
Yeah, so you don't necessarily have to be a permanent resident to purchase in the U.S. You can have a work permit. A lot of times we like to see that it's been renewed so we can see consistency for at least 2 years. And also you can, if you have an asylum, you're basically going to have to stay in the U.S., so that automatically indicates that you are a resident here, not a permanent, obviously, in a legal basis, but as a, asylum. There are other realms of qualifications for DACA, so I encourage you to reach out to either one of us. Floise is definitely going to help you out with understanding where your investment is best met, and I will help you in trying to obtain that mortgage should you need it in order to purchase here in the United States.